Do I consent to this meeting? Of course I do.
Listen, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Am I that guy? Absolutely. The reason I'm wearing glasses tonight, I've never worn glasses.
What's up, officer?
Before. Well, I don't know if. How do I know if I'm that guy, right? Think of the guys that are that guy, that wear glasses all the time inside. I can think of one off the top of my.
Glasses at night.
Juicy J, right? Have you ever seen his eyeballs?
No, he doesn't have them.
Neither have I. So how do you know if you're that guy unless you try to be that guy? So I don't know. Am I that guy or am I not that guy? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments
if he is or is not that guy, because I don't think so.
Or the schmo. The schmo's another example. Kevin Kroom is probably an example. I feel like Kevin Kroom could probably rock sunglasses at night.
Kevin Kroom can rock sunglasses,
inside,
a mullet, and the long lamb chops right down the side. Sideburn into lamb chop, but then cuts it off. No chin hair.
That guy's going to be on the show.
But, Kroomy's going to be on the show.
He will be.
Was he supposed to be on tonight? We don't know. We talked to him. He was busy. We're going to have him on the show.
He's got a fight coming up 8/28, so we'll talk to Kroom before that and give you some content from Kevin Kroom for sure. What we're on tonight is a fucking exciting card this weekend. And the first fight we're going to start with is Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards.
I would like to preface this.
Before
we get into everything. And I know I say this quite a bit.
Just give me the preface.
This might be the best card of the year. I know I say this every time, but Dana White continues to blow my mind with the cards that he's stacking up. I don't remember a time where we've had, and maybe this is just
because
the other coming out of. Dude, the Usman card was great. The Izzy card where he fought Blachowicz was great because you had Thug Rose, you had Weili Zhang, you had freaking.
I'd say
Blachowicz
Izzy.
versus Adesanya.
Izzy's a big reason why we do
sorry,
this.
That was the Usman card, wasn't it?
Usman
had Thug Rose and Weili on it.
Yeah.
And then Shevchenko.
The 3 title fights, but this is almost arguably better on paper. Izzy's the main reason why we do this stuff. Izzy is a common attraction. Yeah.
Is he?
Is he? Yes, he is.
He?
Is he that guy? He's that guy, pal. Trust me. Are you that guy? I got it.
Absolutely.
I'll play it after, but we don't want to talk about that fight yet because this one, we got to break it down. We got to give it its due diligence because it's a big fight. I think, or a big name value, regardless, because Nate Diaz is a huge name in the sport.
Him and his brother.
And Nick. Leon Edwards has been one of the most unlucky motherfuckers
in the last 2 years.
And he's also got a fight with Usman too, so I think he lucked out almost. But he's also been super unlucky, so did he luck out? I don't know.
Can he be unlucky and lucky at the same time?
I think he's going to
The answer is no.
I think he's going to obliterate Nate Diaz. He's going to absolutely run through Nate Diaz and
are you being for real? Wait, are we on? Is this thing on?
Make a mockery of Nate Diaz because he is a true welterweight. Nate Diaz is old. Not older, but old. I love Nate Diaz. I love what he's brought to the sport, but and there's people that think Bilal Muhammad was out of that fight. I think he was in that fight. Or like Bilal Muhammad was getting his ass beat, right? He's getting his ass beat. He was not. He was in that fight with Leon. Got stopped due to an eye poke.
Yeah, too bad his eyes are fucking
Too bad his eyes, that sucks. But with Nate Diaz, this guy, we heard it with Jeff last week, man. Jeff last week, he's like, McGregor lost to Nate Diaz. That's not a disrespect to McGregor. That's a disrespect to Nate Diaz, right?
No, I think it was the other way around.
No way, because he lost to Nate Diaz. So who's it a disrespect to?
It's a disrespect to
Nate Diaz.
What he was doing. He was talking shit on McGregor. He wasn't talking shit on Nate Diaz. He was saying he doesn't think McGregor's actually championship material, even though he is a highly drawn fighter.
He said he's not championship.
Lost to Nate Diaz
because he lost to Nate Diaz.
But we all regard Conor. Most people regard Conor as a legit superstar, a legit champion.
Oh, a legit superstar.
In my opinion, if you watch both those Nate Diaz fights, I think Nate Diaz beats him twice.
Listen, Nate Diaz.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay?
You're not that guy.
Actually,
Conor McGregor.
That's probably the worst person to do that to is Nate Diaz because he is that guy. But maybe Leon Edwards is not that guy. You're not that guy, pal.
The fact that you said Nate Diaz is going to get obliterated by Leon Edwards. Let me ask you something. When was the last time Leon Edwards fought? Bilal Muhammad.
Couple
yes,
weeks ago.
I took the answer out of
Or
your mouth.
a month ago.
Couple weeks ago. I think it was over a month ago. Eye poke. So what did
But
we
then
see?
before that,
what did
yeah,
we
long
see from Leon Edwards in that fight?
I think we saw a good mix of striking. I think we saw good head kicks. I think we saw dangerous weapons that he possesses.
See a nice head kick. We did see a very, very nice.
Now
head
you're
kick
making me
that
think.
landed on
You're making
Bilal.
me think about it, and
We didn't see a whole lot. Was my answer.
Well, I remember.
Was a
no,
good head
we
kick,
saw.
though. We did see a good head kick.
We saw Bilal Muhammad against the cage, and he would turn Leon Edwards against the cage and actually like get the better of him in the clinch sometimes.
Which against the cage, who's the one of the best? Nate Diaz. I almost say Conor McGregor now.
He's well rounded. He's very well rounded. It's just I don't know. I don't know what to expect from Nate Diaz, but
Nate hasn't fought.
Leon looks so
since-
fit. He looked really fit in his last fight, and he looked really good. And I know that he wants to become the champion from England without leaving England. You know, Michael Bisping did it, but he was training in the U.S. the whole time. So Leon trains in England and wants to be in England the whole
I
time to
guess I
show
don't
people
care,
there.
I don't care about that. Like that's, and that's just if Leon's like, yeah, I want to stay the champ in England. Okay, so you don't want to venture out and have bigger competition, or are you saying you
No,
just want
he's
to
saying
capture
he
the
wants
belt
to.
in England
He wants to train in England
and then capture
and then
the belt
have
while
the
he's
belt
training in England.
while he's training in England, so he can show the kids that are in England you don't have to go to the U.S. to train. You can stay here and you can still be champion.
Well, I mean, and that might be possible, but I would say highly improbable.
I don't know if you have to come
Name
to the
all
States.
the great camps in England.
Probably Leon. I don't
That's
know.
about it.
KSI.
Shut up.
KS Vidal Riley. I don't know.
Yeah,
KSI's camp.
Exactly.
But it's
So
I've
if
heard
Leon
that-
wants to prove that, I'll tell you what, that would be a really cool thing to try to prove. It is also
And he's
probably
close, he's close.
a very, very hard thing to try to prove.
England's
at this
first
point right
true
now,
champion.
I don't see Leon Edwards in the light that everybody spoke of him as because it's been too long.
How
Now,
do you
granted,
not-
the
I mean,
Bilal
I
Muhammad- the Bilal
changed-
Muhammad fight, he did have a little bit here and there that was like, ooh, watch the hell out. Ooh, watch the hell out. Like the head kicks you were talking about, he got Bilal in the back of the head. You and me were both watching it.
Oh, he
had
fucked
a
him.
whole mark on the back of his head. Cut his whole head open.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that could just be a really long toenail. But it was a well-placed kick. But I'm saying I'm off the Leon Edwards train. Before the Bilal fight, I was on it. To me, I can't bet against Nate Diaz. It's very hard for me to bet against him because who's the more savvy fighter? Nate Diaz. Who's the more experienced fighter? Nate Diaz. Now, granted, they're fighting at 170. Nate Diaz isn't necessarily a welterweight, but I don't think it matters because Nate Diaz is also one of those fighters that put me in the cage. I don't care who's standing in front of me. I'm going to throw fucking hands. We're going to give him that Compton,
Stockton.
That motherfucking Stockton.
Stockton,
not Compton,
motherfucker.
not Compton, Stockton slap. So
That'd be sick.
I
If he
just
did.
don't. I'm off the Leon Edwards train, but I'm willing to be swayed. If he that's why I love this matchup. I love this matchup.
Yeah. Put it together and do it because why not? Why not? Let's fucking do it. Nate
Well,
Diaz.
I think it does
is a
two
motherfucker,
things. I
man.
think it does two things. One, if Leon Edwards does win in this matchup, I think Bilal Muhammad was a good fight for him coming back because it was like we don't really know what you can do. Bilal is up and coming, like he's set prime to be top 10 like in this division, and it just didn't end the way obviously we all wanted to. I think there was 2 stoppages in that entire card that was eye stoppages, wasn't there?
It was so gross. That whole card was it was
weird. It was a
yeah.
weird card.
The eye pokes have been a thing, and
There was 2 stoppages that we were just like, whoa, what the hell's going on? But I do think that this is a great fight for Leon and Nate, because if Leon comes in and beats Nate, one, you're beating somebody with a name, somebody with recognition, somebody who's been in the game so long. If you have a win over Nate Diaz, that means you're probably pretty damn good. You know what I mean? So it's a great...
maybe a couple years ago.
No, I think Nate is just as good today. Well, I think Nate is still, one, a big draw, 2,
Big draw.
I think he's also equally as good of a fighter as he has been. He might not be... it's hard to say because in that Masvidal fight for the BMF title, they stopped it due to a cut, which he's had his entire life.
That was
Anytime he gets hit, he bleeds from that.
it was a bad stoppage. It was a bad stoppage.
I didn't like the stoppage.
But he also was getting his ass
tagged.
kicked. Yeah.
But at that time, I will say I think Jorge Masvidal, for them fighting styles, I think Jorge was above him.
Yeah. Oh, obviously.
Now, obviously, Jorge got demolished and
By
sat
Kamaru.
down and knocked out. But no.
By Kamaru.
Oh, Kamaru.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said Connor. He got demolished by Kamaru, who at this point, even though I'm not a huge fan of Kamaru, top of the game, cream of the crop. He is hands
Cream of
down
the crop,
best
top
in
of the top. You're that guy.
Exactly. So, but I think if Leon wins over Nate, it sets Leon up for greatness, it sets him in a great position because now he's got to win over somebody with name recognition, and it shows that he's obviously still primed, cream of the crop, ready to go. He hasn't lost anything in the last 2 years. If Nate wins, it shows that Nate can still take out top contenders in this division. This whole fight, I think, is a great matchup.
Yeah. You're right on that. It's just, for me, I think Nate Diaz he fights at 150. No, because he beat Connor at 70, but they're both true 155ers. That was probably one of his
true lightweight.
That was the fight that gave him the biggest notoriety was the Connor fight at 170. Because when they fought at 155, he lost. I mean, it was 1-1, but he got the takedown at the end of the fight. Made you think that Nate Diaz won that fight, the second one, with McGregor. But he didn't, truthfully.
I don't know. I rewatched it the other day.
Leon, and that's what I've heard all week with this fight, is Leon's a true 170er. This guy is 170 pounds. He's probably going to weigh close to 190 on fight night. Nate Diaz he's always cocked. He's up here, ready he's just cocked. He's cocked and ready. He's like a gun. He's just right here. He's cocked and he's ready to fight. And he's always like that. But Leon Edwards is one of the top in the division. Fucking Bilal Muhammad's on this card tonight.
I know, he's the fight right before him and Leon Edwards.
People think he's going to lose to Damian Maia after how good he looked against Leon. I think that's a credit to Leon or a credit to Bilal because he looked so good. He's going to run through Damian Maia. And that's like just a side note of this card. But truthfully, Leon Edwards is he looks so good. Nate Diaz has his hands full. 100%. I respect your opinion,
I think it's going to be a great fight.
He's got his hands full.
Don't get me wrong. I definitely do not believe this is going to be some Nate's going to come in and roll over Leon. I just believe that Nate still has a bunch to prove, and he's not going to let somebody like Leon who has been just bad shake.
Nate has nothing left to prove.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't have anything left to prove.
In his mind, I believe he does. You know why? He still wants to say, hey, I'm still top in this division.
He wants to say, what's up,
because
motherfucker?
he's so inconsistent that him and his brother now coming back. Like Nate's been on and off, but he still has shit to prove. He says, hey, I'm still top dog in this division.
Yeah.
And I'm also, if I'm not top dog, I'm going to challenge every contender who thinks that they can be a top dog and prove to you why you can't. Because at this point, is he a top-level champion? No. Yeah, Let's be honest, he's not.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work for him. He's a great draw. He's great for the sport. I love him for the sport.
He's going to challenge everybody coming in that thinks they are a top-level competition.
He's not at the top.
He's not at the top.
Not with Leon Edwards.
He's going to be the doorway. If you can beat Nate, you then get true rights to the top of the division. That's what I believe. But I think that's going to be a really hard door. Of all the
in Leon's case,
if
yes.
you think about all the different divisions, welterweight, light heavyweight, bantam, think about all the doorway, guys that are sitting there hey.
Well, they call them gatekeepers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Nate is a true gatekeeper because he's not top level as far as I don't think Nate's ever going to recapture a championship. But
Leon Edwards is, so you're talking yourself.
I don't believe that
you're out of it.
I don't think Leon will ever be a champion.
Don't think Leon Edwards will ever be a champion.
I do not.
Okay.
I think right now Kamaru's got it on lock. Nothing that I've seen from Leon is going to ever beat Kamaru Usman. Doesn't mean things can change in the future. I just don't see the determination that Kamaru has. I don't see him relinquishing that spot unless it's to somebody who is so deserving of it, and I just don't see Leon in that camp.
That's what
maybe
fucks me up.
if he trained in America, I would.
Oh, God.
USA, baby!
It fucks me up about this fight is because we didn't get to see a lot from Leon. We didn't get to see a whole lot, but he looked fantastic in what he showed. And we all know Nate Diaz. We all know what Nate Diaz brings, and it is you're not going to get this guy out of there. If you do get this guy out of there, then you are for real. Not a lot of people put away Nate Diaz. If you can, then in Leon Edwards' case, even though it is Nate Diaz, it's not Vicente Luque, it's not Stephen Thompson, it's not any of these top guys at 170, it's Nate Diaz, then maybe you do deserve a title shot. If you do it dominantly. If you have trouble with Nate Diaz, and if you're Leon Edwards, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. If you have trouble with Nate Diaz, he should be able to get him out of there quickly and swiftly. If you are the top of the food chain at 170, because if you're not and you can't get Nate Diaz out of there, Vicente Luque is going to eat you up. Stephen Thompson's going to eat you up.
I don't know. I feel like you're misguided.
Gilbert Burns is going to eat you up.
Well, Gilbert
so
will eat you up.
It's not going to happen. I think it's an easy choice for me. I think Leon Edwards is going to win the fight.
Okay, 3-round fight. Who do you think's winning?
It's a 5-round fight.
I'm sorry, it's a 5-round fight. Who do you think's winning?
Leon Edwards, I think he's going to finish him by round 3. I do. He will get the finish. It's hard to finish Nate Diaz, but Leon Edwards is on a whole nother plateau. It's hard to trust Leon because we haven't seen like his chin tested. We haven't seen these things tested, but I do think he looks in such good shape. And with these glasses on, I just feel so confident that, Leon Edwards. I love Nate Diaz. I love what he is to the sport. I love what he brings to the sport. But if you're making me pick, I think Leon Edwards wins that 9 times out of 10. 1 time out of 10, maybe Nate Diaz wins it. Will it be the 1? I don't think so. So I'm going with my gut. Leon Edwards is going to finish Nate Diaz, not beat him. He's going to finish him. Book it.
I don't know, man. I just have the last guy that Nate Diaz lost to that wasn't an absolute beast was Josh Thompson. Back in 2013.
Not in the UFC.
Exactly. Like, that's the only other loss that really can, like, these are his 3 losses since then. Rafael Dos Anjos in 2014 when he was on an absolute tear. Conor McGregor when we can argue over who really won that fight in 2016. And then Jorge Masvidal in 2019. Wow, it was that long ago.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nate Diaz, man.
We haven't seen him lose much. Even in between there, he fought Michael Johnson, Rafael Dos Anjos, RDA, Conor, Anthony Pettis, Jorge Masvidal.
If we're being truthful,
Cream of the crop on his last five fights.
If we're being truthful, we all knew Kamaru Usman was going to beat Masvidal.
Yeah,
that's no question.
Yeah,
Masvidal beat and I think Leon Edwards is up there with Usman. So it's going to be. That's why I think it's going to be easy.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
So you have.
You see what I mean?
I mean, I see. I see where you're going. I definitely disagree, but I see your side of it, Officer Byers.
Thank you.
So you have.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Okay.
That's not how you do it.
All right, give me. Let me know. Are you picking Nate Diaz? Or are you going on Nate Diaz?
I'm picking Nate Diaz.
Okay,
I think Nate Diaz wins. I think it probably goes to decision. I don't think Nate's going to knock him out. If so, I just think on their feet, Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards probably same. I might give a slight edge. To Leon. If not, I think they're on the exact same par. I think Nate's a terrific boxer. I think Leon's a good striker.
Very good.
I think Leon's a good striker. I think on the ground, no question, it's going to Nate Diaz. His jiu-jitsu is above and beyond most people in the division. I think he's very savvy with the way he sets up submissions. He's very tricky in trying to get you to move one way, trapping you, and then locking you in, whether it's a triangle, whether it's not an arm bar. He's not really an arm bar guy, or not a side. He does do triangle bars and stuff like that, but
you never know. I would almost give Nate the stand-up advantage because he could outpoint you.
Yeah.
Maybe not land the power shots, but then on the ground, I feel like
skill and technique.
Leon could bully him.
On the ground, you think Leon can bully Nate?
Oh, yeah, he's too strong. He's too big.
See, but
he's
that's
way
what
too big.
I'm thinking. I think he would overcompensate with his strength because Nate is so savvy on the bottom. Like, since he's a jiu-jitsu guy, it's not like 2 wrestlers going at it for overall dominance. He's okay to be on his back because that's where he lives. And that's where I think Leon hasn't had enough practice yet is with somebody as highly skilled as Diaz on the ground, even though Diaz is going to try to stand up and box your ass.
It's a different game now. It's a different sport. And I'm on Leon all the way.
I'm going Diaz on decision. You're going Leon by the 3rd round?
By
the knock him out?
He knocks him out in the 3rd round.
Okay.
That's me.
There you go.
I love it, though. Fuck yeah.
That's the review. Officer Byers, that's the review.